The plotting of sections is a two-stage process. Firstly, you need to define a section position file, and the section position file defines the alignment and position of the sections, either long or cross sections, that you wish to plot. For details on how you create section position files, please view the relevant tutorial, which is under Configure, SPF Create and SPF Amend. I've created a section position file and I've over-displayed it using the Display Over Display SPF. We now select Plot Sections, and in the Surveys Test Data SDF folder you will see a selection of example section description files. There are several which relate to the paper size that you are likely to want to plot, such as A0, A1, A3, A4, plus a few specialist section description files, such as ones that you may wish to use for roads, and one with a very simple profile on a large sheet. But the one we're going to use is called Dxf SDF, will be used ultimately for plotting the sections to an Autocad Dxf file. I've opened up that section description file on the right hand side of the screen so we can follow the prompts within that file. Having selected the section description file, I now confirm the section position file that I want to use. I choose whether to plot the cross sections or the long section, and whether I'm interested in plotting the terrain and or the non-terrain links within the chosen surveys. As a section line crosses link features and triangle sides, do I want the triangle sides to be displayed as well as the link features, or just the link features themselves? If I don't want to plot the whole length of sections or the whole length of a single long section, then I can ask it to prompt me for the start and end chainages. Next brings me on to the first part of the section description file, and as we saw with the plot plan, it's going to draw the dialogues from this section description file. For example, it's going to ask the question, do I want 3 boxes with 1 survey or 5 boxes with 3 surveys? And you can configure your section description file to have as many surveys as you are likely to want. I'm going to select the option 5 boxes with 3 surveys, and it'll become clear when we see the final plot exactly what this means. For my original ground survey, which is my current survey, I'm going to give it a label. I then select my second survey. It has confirmed the extent of the sections that it's going to plot. It won't plot any sections which lie outside of the chosen surveys. And at this point we can either send the plot to a printer, whether to send it to a load file, and I'll come on to this afterwards, or we can send it to an Acrobat document. Okay, as I chose to plot this to an Acrobat document, I've now opened it up inside the Acrobat Reader program, and if we zoom in we can then see the details of the section plots. All of this is very configurable. You will need to go into the section description file to make those changes, but the help documentation will assist, and also our technical support line is available if you need any further help. This time we're going to plot to an Lss load file, and that will allow us to send the section plot firstly to an LSS survey and then export it to Autocad in a Dxf format. So we go through the initial dialogues as before. But this time we choose an LSS load file to which the section plot is going to be sent. Whether the final plotted sections in that Dxf file are going to be centimeters on the final plot, that is ultimately up to 600 millimeters as previously explained, or survey units. It confirms that it will put all 64 sections on a single sheet. It's plotted those sections and we choose end plot and auto load that section file. For this process we have a specific prototype which is held within test data, section plot prototype, and the file we want is called section plot prototype. We also have a conversion file which is called LSS section plot CNV, and that's held within test data, CNV, LSS section plot CNV. What this will do is convert the pen colors, that is the colors of the lines and the text that we've been plotting the section to, and convert it into feature codes for LSS. There you can see it loading the sections. If we zoom in to individual sections, you will see the section plots that we've produced. So for this chainage 270, we've got the original ground levels, we've got the excavation levels, seam levels, the offset at each of the levels along the ground survey, and then regular offsets. Now you can set the section description file up so that it has ordinates, you can set it up so it has codes that appear, the levels appear at the top, and there are a variety of different ways in which you can lay out these in terms of the number of boxes, the colours, the font size, etc. So I suggest you have a look at all of the different example section description files and also refer to the help documentation on plot sections by choosing the help button within plot sections and having a look at the section description file area of that help documentation. All that's left for us to do now is to export Autocad Dxf, create the file name, export as per the current screen display in meters 2D. I have now opened that document inside the Autodesk AutoCAD viewer, and you can see it looks exactly the same as it did inside LSS.